Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. God bless. Tonight we're going to cover Rose Bly. I, you know, I truly believe her case could have been solved had people not fled from her case instead of standing strong and doing what is righteous in the sight of God, right? Um, but instead they fled. They fled. And therefore Rose was not ever found. Now, can can her case still come to light? Yes, absolutely. Um, it can. Do I believe there's enough information to possibly, um, even now, solve her case? Um, possibility, a possibility. We're going to go over that tonight. We're going to explore how Rose's case could possibly be solved. Um, as I've always said, no case gets solved without we the people. We the people usually are the ones holding the key to the prison cell, right? Whether the person gets put in or they don't. Um, that's pretty much our power that we as humans have. Because, every day in our lives we see things, we know things. Um, a lot of times we choose to turn a blind eye. We choose to turn a blind eye. And I think that's what happened in Rose Blythe's case. I think that a lot of people chose to turn the blind eye on Rose. Matter of fact, I'm like 99.9% positive. Just that 1% I could be wrong. 1%. But I don't think so. What you're going to hear tonight, I think you have a right to know. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think we have a right to know. I think Grandis and Candace, Rose's other sister, her husband, whoever, they had a right to know, not now, but back then, right? They had a right to know back then. The longer we wait, the longer we wait, the less opportunities we have of solving a human's case, right? When they've been done so wrong, you know, put through so much. I mean, when someone takes another human's life, um, when someone takes another human's life, they destroy more lives than that one, right? Like whoever did what they did to Rose destroyed Grandis's life, her dad's life, her sister's lives, right? They didn't just destroy Rose; they destroyed her two beautiful daughters' lives by cheating them out of a mother, right? Who should have been there and able to be there. So these criminal acts ain't confined to just the person they do something to. It's an overall chain reaction. And so you destroy many lives, not one. And yes, we have laws, and them laws do not protect the law, right? Even if someone is the law, they're not protected when they break the law. So it doesn't matter, what position you're in or level you're on. The law is the law, and if you break it, you're supposed to go to prison. It just is what it is. But you have a lot of people, you know, got a yellow streak going from the back of their neck to their butt crack, and they're afraid. They're afraid, so they don't step forward and do what needs to be done. In a lot of cases, and I think Rose Bly's case is one of those. Anyway, let's move forward. Um, Karen A, number one. How you doing today, girl? How are you doing? And Tammy Fields, how you doing, sweetie? Hello, PG and family. Much love. Much love to you. Number two. And there's Eve. She came in third. Hey, PG. Much love. Much love to you, girl. Much love to you. God bless. God bless. Yeah, I wanted to address. We always say we always meet and greet, right? We always meet and greet when we come in here. How you doing tonight, Deputy Sheriff? How are you doing? Oh, that is sweet. Tammy Phils, always lovely to see you, my friend. Oh, that is so nice. That is nice. How you doing, Judy? Kat, I see you, girl. How you doing tonight? How you doing, CJ? Lisa, Tracy, Lady Q, how you doing, hon? Hillbilly 29. Hello, PG in chat. I'm sure she's going to say much love. Much love to you, hon. Aw, I appreciate that, Cindy. That is so sweet. Thank goodness you came on. Love you, PG. Hey, I love you too, girl. Aw, that's so sweet, Lisa. She purple hearts for summer. God bless. God bless. Hey, Sugar Boom Boom, how you doing tonight? Hey, PG and all chat. Much love to all. Much love to you, girl. Much love to you. God bless. I'm following down through here. I'm making it. How you doing, Patty? How you doing tonight, sweetie? Says, hey, PG, prayers, much love. Much love to you. Oh, Pit Mama, how you doing tonight? She says, nothing wrong with talking about it for sure. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think there's a lot to learn. And, in what, in the Rose Bly case. How you doing, Lisa K? How you doing tonight? And Ken is a drunk. That's why they weren't there. Chris and girls were there. Kathy was sick and Ken is a drunk. Chris and girls were there. I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about. I must have missed something as I came down through here. I don't know. I think Rose's case could still Candace's sister Jeannie was the only one in the family that went to the funeral of Mr. Bly. Jeannie, her husband and kids were there, and Jeannie got the flag. Aw, that's so sad, right? I mean, he had lots of family, and I mean, Chris and his kids should have been there, and Candace and Donald and their children should have been there. I mean, and Grandis, she should have been there, right? That was the father of her children. Um, she should have been there. But it is what it is. People hold that hate and that ugliness, you know, even all the way up and even after someone passes away, right? They just keep it like that. So I don't know. That family seemed to have lots of hate in it. Lots of hate. Justice for Summer. Amen. Absolutely. Hey, PG and Summer's family. Much love. Much love to you, girl. Yeah, phone line's open tonight. The phone line is open tonight. Hold on, I gotta move. I got something sitting behind my chair that my chair is making a ton of noise every time it hits it. That's what you get when you rearrange. When you rearrange things, right? I moved my office around and I hate it. Right? So, and I just ain't had time to move it back. Molly said hi first. Hello, Molly. I gotta sing the hello, Molly. Oh, hello, Molly. I know it's supposed to be Dolly, but hey, sounds good to me, right? Okay, y'all about to hear something, and then I'm gonna explain to you, what, in my opinion, what's going on. I want to play something to everybody.
Good afternoon. I wanted to explain why last night we could not name suspects in Rose Bly's case. So let me tell you a story somehow explain to the people in the chat why suspects cannot be named. The night Rose went missing, she was at a house in a town called Frederick, Wisconsin. There was supposed to be a party there. Rose and my son were friends, and he and other friends were supposed to meet her there. Afternoon.
Okay, I'm going to play it and then I'm going to tell you what it's saying.
I wanted to explain why last night we could not name suspects in Rose Bly's case.
Now, this is someone that when Rose Bly's case had came up in our chat way back, because you guys know I really didn't want to cover other cases because it was taking the light off of Summer at that point. And I felt that it was so important to keep Summer 100%, right? The way we have her now. I mean, now we've got her in this big spotlight and we've been holding her there for ever, right? So, but at this particular time, it was when, it was people were still trying to put her behind things, and I was fighting to say no, right? And I just didn't want to talk about Utah. I didn't want to talk about Rose. It was too important to talk about Summer at that time because she had been put into a dark place and needed to be pulled to the light. But we've got her pulled there now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about her aunt. And I think Summer would not mind what I've got to say tonight, because I do believe that Rose's case could have been solved if people would have just stepped up to the plate for Rose and got it solved. But, it is what it is. That's my only way of explaining things in this world, and it's the only way, I guess, that we can cope with it, right? It's to just understand it is what it is. Anyhow, I'm just letting you know that after that, I got this information.
So let me tell you a story somehow explained to the people in the chat why suspects cannot be named.
It said, let me explain, that they're hoping that I could explain this story.
The night Rose went missing, she was at a house in a town called Frederick, Wisconsin.
The night Rose came up missing, she was in a house in a town called Frederick, Wisconsin.
There was supposed to be a party there. Rose and my son were friends, and he and other friends were supposed to meet her there.
Okay, Rose, this particular person's son, and this particular person's son and some other friends were supposed to meet Rose at this particular house for a house party that night, is what this person is saying.
When they got there, they saw Rose's car there, and they went into the house. And
when they got there, Rose's car was there, so they went into the house.
Called out a guy, hollered, "We are upstairs." My son went up, the others kids stayed down.
They were the son, this particular person's son, went upstairs and left the two friends that was with him downstairs. When he went upstairs, he met up with two men, one about his own age, as you're going to hear, and one older man, which was law enforcement in that town.
To the room, and there were two people. In the room, a guy about my son's age, and an older man, and he saw big garbage bags along the side of the wall. They had ripped up the...
Okay, the older guy was an officer. Or maybe not. I think the older guy was an Indian guy, and the younger guy was the officer. If I'm not, I don't know which was which. I just know one of them was an officer, one of them was an Indian guy. That I am for sure. But anyway, they was ripping up the carpet in this room of this particular house, putting them in big trash bags.
Carpet in the bedroom. He had asked what they were doing. The guy said, "None of your business." So he asked where Rose was. The guy said she took off with some guy. Well,
now this particular person's son said, "Where's Rose?" They said that she had took off with someone else. Her car's there, but these particular two men, one of the men, which was an officer, said she had took off with another guy. had left with someone else.
He said if you know the smell of death, it's something you never forget, and he said the people were acting really sketchy, and it stunk in that room so bad he made up an excuse to get out of there. With his friend.
Now, when this particular young man that's there with two of his friends went up here, he got a stench of death. He seen him cutting up the carpet, putting it in trash bags, and he seen Rose's car outside. They said she wasn't there, but he didn't call 911 on none of that. He did not bother to call law enforcement and say, hey, I think something's going down at this particular house, right? He didn't do that.
Friends. He knew something bad happened in that house. And then a few days later, it's all over the news that Rose was missing. This house was a party meth house, and there was a lot of bad people there. My son laid low for a long time.
This house was a party drug house that everybody knew about. And once it came on the news that Rose Bly had came up missing, this particular boy was laying low. Now you're going to hear that he didn't want to go to police. He waited a long time before supposedly going to the police. But I was told later that that they didn't have the report, that someone that he supposedly made a report that just happened to come up missing. I don't think he ever made a report. I think he had information. I think he had information that could have solved Rose's case. And he, or maybe possibly he could have even been had a hand in whatever went down there. I don't know. I wasn't there. He was. And, why would he not go to law enforcement? I mean, I don't understand that. Because at the time, this particular officer was nothing but just another everyday officer like anyone else. I mean, I don't believe that he was like, later, yes, he went up levels in rank and became somebody in the police department. But at that particular time, this particular officer was a nobody. He was married and he was a nobody looking to go somewhere, right? He was looking to go up in ranks and become somebody. But this particular person, now I don't know if this particular house still exists. If this particular house has not been torn down, then, if something happened in that room, it would have sunk into the wood. And there's still DNA in that wood. Even this many years later, there would still be blood and there would still be DNA left in that wood, because wood absorbs blood. And, right? It absorbs it. And it's like forever in that wood. So the baseboard and other places, I'm sure if they went in there with the and strobed the room with the light, there'd still be evidence somewhere in that room. If indeed the house is still standing with the original floors. So her case could possibly still be solved if this particular person would you know, speak up and tell the truth. I'm sure they would want him to take a lie detector's test of what he saw, and, you know, they'd want him to take a lie detector's test of what he saw and the fact he didn't have no involvement in any of it. But, if, if indeed he passes it, he could still put the person that did this in prison. Now, this particular person, PG busted. Here you go. You know what? I'm not even going to address you tonight. In here, because you know what? You're a liar and a biddy, and your breath smells shitty. And it's not worth my time. It's hoes like you that mother freaking take the focus off of these missing people and cause them to not get the attention that they deserve, to get their cases solved in this life. You are a horrible human being. And you know what? I'm just going to let God handle you. You're ugly. You're disgusting. You come in here to cause problems and nothing more. If you think I live in Kingsport, Tennessee, then, goody fucking for you, right? Goody for you. And if you think that, I knew Allie or the Whales or anybody else before Summer ever came up missing, that's goody fucking for you too, right? There you go. And if you think that, I have some daughter-in-law named Sharon, I don't. But if you want to think that, that is another goody fucking for you. Let's give you a cookie, bitch, and send you the hell on up out of here, right? There you go. I'm going to personally get the pleasure to block your ass myself. You're not welcome here. Take that ass and somewhere else where somebody gives a damn, right? Take it where somebody gives a damn. Because I don't. I just don't care. My God. Yeah, these people are disgusting. They're freaking disgusting. They do not care about these missing people that we're talking about. All they care about is getting some kind of big shit show going constantly. And, it's not fair. It's not fair to the viewers. It's not fair to me. It's not fair. It's definitely not fair to the victims that we're trying to find justice for. It's crazy. Hey, Molly, I appreciate that. You tell her PGOA. God bless. Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. People, it's like, haha, we know who PG is. No, you don't. No, you don't. And I feel sorry. It's just another victim you guys have picked, to victimize because you think it's someone. It's not. It's crazy. And I tried to tell you it's not me to save these people from being victimized. But, I can only, God knows my heart, and he knows that, I did righteous. If they're going to do evil, that's on them. Nothing I can do or say about that, right? God will get them, and hopefully the person that, whoever this human is they're victimizing, sues the crap up out of them. Maybe that will get them to stop. And it will definitely shut down their channel. It'll definitely shut them down to where they can't ever have another YouTube at all. So it is what it is. If you're going to victimize people, you better make sure you got the right people. Because if you got the wrong one, you're in trouble, right? You're in trouble. There you go. But anyway, yes, I do believe that Rose's case could be solved. What you're about to hear next is someone disliking, Lisa Kay. So I'm going to prepare you for that, because Lisa Kay is about to get some backlash here.
Before going to the police to make a report, as a matter of fact, he did not want to go at all.
They say they went to the police, but matter of fact, they didn't want to go at all. And I don't think they did.
Because he knew Rose was dead and who she was seeing, and that's the person he was scared of.
Now, this person, this young man that went there with a couple friends, seen Rose cars parked, went up the staircase, smelled the horrible odor of death, seen them cutting up carpet, putting it in trash bags, and asked where Rose was, and was told she was left with someone. Asked what they were doing. They said, none of your business. When they seen Rose on the news a couple of days later, they knew exactly what had happened and done nothing to help or get her case solved. And this is why cases don't get solved, because there is people that know and they're too scared to talk.
The guy Rose was seeing is a police officer for Polk County, WIS, and the other guy that was in the bedroom is the Indian he ran off to South Dakota 2 days later to the reservation.
One was a police officer, one was an Indian. The Indian ran off back to a reservation in Dakota, and the police officer went on to get in higher ranks within the police department.
So this is the reason it could not be mentioned on your live last night, with him still working as an officer. The officer she was seeing is married, and I think she was looking for more in that.
The officer was married, and this, and they think that they were trying anyway, they said that Rose wanted more with this officer, right? And she was dating him. So that right there could have solved her case. That right there could have solved her case, but her case wasn't solved, right?
Relationship when he was, and something went very, very wrong. Lisa.
Something really went wrong. It went wrong in that house, in that room. Then it went wrong when, this particular son did not do what he should have done to get this case solved.
The Keys was on FB as soon as Summer came up missing. At the time, she said she was a private investigator for Chris Larson, which she was not. She had mentioned the police report that my son had made. And I blocked her because she posted his name on FB, which pissed me off.
Now, Lisa Kay can't mention a police report her son made, because there is no police report that her son, there's no record of a police report that her son made in this particular case. No, there's not.
That I have tried to protect him and our family for so long.
This particular person's worried about protecting oneself and her family. She's worried about protecting her son, not finding Rose or doing what's right for Rose. But protecting oneself and their family out
When
of
I
fear.
saw her on your live last, I had to pretend I did not know her because I wanted to hear what she had to say, and whether it was true. One thing she did get very, very wrong is there was absolutely no cameras, which says it in the police report, and I drive by there once a week for 25 years, and there still are none up there.
She says that Lisa Case tries to say that there is cameras in the area where Rose's car was parked, but she said that that's a lie, that there it was no cameras whatsoever in that area. Now, this particular person did, I guess, ask for all the records on the Rose Bly case, um, obviously, but or maybe they just drove by and seen that there is no cameras and didn't do anything. Um, doesn't didn't see no police reports or anything else. I don't know. Um, I just know that we got a human there that could have saved, you know, could have possibly even saved Rose. Rose may not have been complete. She could have been able to have been took to a hospital. She might have been in a trunk or in another room upstairs of that house and could have been saved. But this particular person was so afraid and got the hell out of there and didn't report nothing. So therefore, we don't know, right? We don't know. We have no idea. And even if she wasn't no longer with us, they didn't care enough about her. They called herself a friend to Rose, but there wasn't no friend. They were no friend, because a friend would have done whatever it took to make sure that Rose got justice, right? They would have did what it took to see that she got justice, and laid to rest, so that her family could have had a place to go and put flowers, right? But and I'm not saying that this can't still be solved, right? This case still absolutely could be solved if law enforcement, swoop down on this particular witness and pressured them. Now this witness is withholding if you don't speak. I mean, this particular person definitely has information that could solve Rose Bly's case. And by law, you could go to jail for withholding information like that. You could actually get a prison sentence. If you know something, you are not allowed to not tell it, especially in a murder or a missing persons case. If you are found to be withholding evidence, that is definitely, you will go to jail. So, this is information out there that other people do not have, they do not know about. And it's that simple to solve Rose's case. It was that simple. Now, I don't cover Rose Bly's case. I cover Summer's case, right? I cover Summer's case. But I think that, Rose has a right to be found, right? She has a right to be found. She has a right to get justice. I know that by now there's probably not a lot left, but what is, I'm sure her family would love to lay to rest. That is their sister, that is their daughter, that is a couple of children's mother, right? So and whoever them two guys was, they know whoever she left with, right? If she left with someone, they know who she left with, her husband or whoever it was. But it don't sound like it sounds like she left. All right. The whole world. right there that night. So, sounds like she left with Jesus. That might have been the man that they were talking about. But it definitely sounds like something, and it's not my job to get justice for Rose, right? That ain't my job. That's Rose's family's job. That is Grandis's job. That is Candace's job. That is, her daughter's job. Her ex-old man's job to help his daughters get it done. That's their family's job to pursue this and get it done. That's what I'm talking about. I shouldn't even have had to come out here and put this out here tonight. Right? I should not had to do this. But I guess God must have picked me to get it done. Right? Like I said, I don't know why. I do not understand how or why I ever got mixed up in all of this. I just know because this stuff ain't for me. This stuff is not for PG. It's a lot of hate, a lot of evilness out here, a lot of attacking. I mean, I've had to fight from day one out here. From day one, I've had to fight to do what I'm doing. Due to the fact that, not due to the fact I'm doing anything wrong. It's probably due to the fact I'm trying to do everything right for these missing people. And you get really hated on and you get attacked and you get crucified for doing righteousness in this world anymore. And, but I go where God leads me. And I'm here now and got to do what, got to do what I got to do, right? So, I'm sorry that I had to be the one to do this because the person with this son should have went to Grandis or to Chris, and this beautiful young lady's family and said, look, my son has information, and so that you can get justice if you want to get justice. That should have been their families, right? To say whether they wanted to proceed in getting justice or not, right? I mean, at least you could do is go and tell the family, hey, we're afraid and we're worried, we're worried for ourselves and we're worried for you as well. Now that you've got the information, we're worried for you. But and give that family the right to see if they want to proceed, because then you're not fighting alone, right? You're not fighting alone by yourself to get this done. You're not fighting alone. And if the family decides they want to proceed, then you should stand strong with them and proceed forward and make sure that this girl was found and justice was served in her case. I mean, this man, was more dangerous on the loose than he would have been in prison. Matter of fact, he'd have still been in prison to this day for brutally killing a young lady for no apparent reason, right? For no apparent reason other than, he's married and she might be threatening to tell. Well, that isn't a reason to kill someone. That's a reason to keep your zipper up and not be going out on your wife, right? That's what I got to say. So, I'm not the only one with it. I'm not the only one with it. The person that told me that has the son has it too, right? It was their job to turn that info in, not PG's job to turn this information in, right? It wasn't my job to be doing it. Not my job. But yes, it has been turned in, and I'm sure it's going to be turned in a whole lot more times after tonight. Just to make that clear, everyone always turns in, and that's what it needs. That's what it needs. It needs to be turned in by many different people so that law enforcement knows that people out here are serious about getting this case solved, right? Christopher Larson is in our chat tonight, Rose's ex-husband. And yes, I did because I was worried she did the same thing her mom did. So I was protecting kids. Turns out she didn't do the same thing her mom did. So he must have been afraid that she had left him for someone else. Because that's what Grandis did. Grandis actually left him for someone else. Yeah, Christopher is no longer Christopher is no longer married to Rose. He divorced her. He divorced her immediately after she came up missing. He divorced her. So who has a delay? Who is he saying has a delay? Can you guys hear me? Trevor is covering Rose's. Trevor has no right covering anyone's cases. Trevor is a snake. He was in here last night apologizing and then slid over to Cam, slithered over there, right? And was saying bad things about me and out of his other face, right? And like I said last night, actions speak louder than words. And Trevor showed, his actions did not align up with his words. of forgive me, right? He tries to come and ask forgiveness and everything, and then act like somebody don't want to forgive him to try to make you look bad, right? Well, that's the devil's old trick, and we're already hip to it. So, I think Trevor might want to see what else the devil has in his pocket that he might be able to use that we ain't already figured out is being used, right? So, there you go, Trevor. But I can say that, yeah, that's what he did. So it is what it is. Anyhow, as I said, if that house is still standing and it still has the original wooden floors in that particular room, this case can still be solved. So, that's what the family needs to check into, if indeed they even care about solving Rose's case. I gave them the tools. I gave them the tools to get it done. It's up to them to do it, right? If Candace, or Chris Larson wants to reach out to me by phone, I will be more than glad to speak to them and give them the information behind the scenes of who they need to tell law enforcement to contact and to get this case taken care of. If they want that information, I will tell them who the son is of this particular person, or at least I'll let you know who this particular person is, and it's their son that you need to have law enforcement looking into to get this case solved. So, if this case wants to be solved, it can. It can. Right? It can. And, they say that YouTubers out here, don't do anything for these victims. Well, I just solved this freaking case for everybody if it wants to be solved, right? So, there you go. There you go. No, I didn't have to do that. I didn't. But I did. And, no, we didn't have to work our backsides off to bring another little girl home to her parents, but we did. And, I think this channel does a whole lot of good. Now, go ask all these other YouTubers that has took everybody to the cleaners, how many people they brought home, because they ain't brought none. Absolutely none. Ask them how many cases they have actually got information to solve, and I guarantee you none. So, I think they need to keep their mouth off this channel. Like I said before, this channel was put together by God for Summer and these missing victims, these missing humans. We have done a lot. We have done a lot for these cases. A lot. And you know what their problem is? They're afraid that we're going to find Summer as well. They're afraid we're going to figure out exactly what happened to this baby. And somebody else's ass is going to be getting locked away. So, there you go. That's their big fear. That's their big fear. Right? That's their fear. No, Christopher Larson, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm right. You know, I am right. I am right about all of this. Absolutely right about all of this. And, you know, I understand. Are you talking to me, Christopher? Or someone in the chat? Are you talking to me or someone in the chat? PG's not wrong. I'm not wrong. And your wife's case or your ex-wife's case could be solved. Maybe, you know, you don't want it solved for a reason. I don't know. I don't know. You know? Maybe you and that officer, maybe you and that officer got on good terms together against your old lady. I mean, you did divorce her when she came up missing. You divorced this beautiful lady. ASAP. I mean, you don't divorce her before she goes missing, but you divorce her right after. I mean, I don't even know why you stay in this case. I don't even know why you, Christopher Larson, stays in this case. Larson. I want it solved badly. I don't think you do. If you want it solved badly, then you find out if that damn house is still there with the original wood in those bedrooms and get it solved, buddy. Get it solved. Because her blood and her DNA would still be there in that wood. So go get it solved. Right? Then we'll know this particular person's telling the truth. This particular person can lead them right to that house. Right to that house. And this could be solved. So if you really want it solved, get it done. Right? Get it done. There you go. Yeah. Call the police. Have the police call me. I'd be glad to tell them. I'd be glad to tell them not only go find, but to go to the damn house and see if it's still there with the original wood and solve the fucking case. Right? Get it done. Do that little thing. It should have been done back when she came up missing. It should have already been done. Right? Should have already been done. That's what I'm talking about. Should have already been done. You know, it's just more dirty little secrets. More dirty little secrets people like to keep. Dirty little secrets that, you know, people like to keep. They want to come out here and talk about it, but not put out the full story or how to get anything done. Because most people are liars. PG, you've gotten good at calling people a liar. Most people are liars. They are liars. I'm going to prove that tomorrow night. I'm going to prove that tomorrow night. Don't miss tomorrow night's show. You'll be sad if you did. I'm going to show you how people lie. Right? I have no reason to lie. I could care less. I'm not out here for people, for humans. I'm out here for God. Like I said, as long as I'm happy with me when I get off of here and God's happy with me, I'm happy. You know, I don't come to this table for humans. I come here for these missing people right here. That's why I'm out here. It's for them. And I'm doing all I can to help. And I take this shit serious. Something most people don't. Exactly. I'm going to tell you, most humans have not only two faces, but a double forked tongue. Right? And I'm learning that real fast. I'm not blaming Chris either. But, you know, I don't think you should divorce your wife when she needed you the most. Right? I don't think you should divorce someone when they needed you the most. That's wrong. That was just rude. But yeah, you know. Exactly, Christopher. You don't know where the house is, but the young guy that went there with his two friends, he does know where it is. And he can take law enforcement there. He can take law enforcement to that house. Right? He can take law enforcement there. He can take them there. He can you know, as I said, you know, if the home is still there and the original flooring is there, if the original flooring is still there, then this case can be solved because they're still going to be, you know, wood sucks up. You know, even if you paint over it, it's still you can tear a piece, you can tear it up and see, you know, inside there's going to be blood. So this case can be solved, you know. That's all I'm saying. It can definitely be solved. Lisa Kay does know a lot about the Rose Bly case. Lisa Kay does. I give Lisa Kay that. She knows a lot about Rose's case. But she didn't know enough to solve it. She didn't know enough to get it done. Right? I just gave Lisa Kay and Chris and Candace and Jeannie all, and Chris's daughters, right? Rose's daughters. I just gave all of them the information they need to get this case solved. I'm not tooting my horn, right? I'm not tooting no horn. That was all God's work, not mine. All glory be to God, not PG. God just let me be the one someone confided into with the information that could solve Rose's case. Right? So it's all glory to God. I think God loves this channel. I think that, you know, this channel's supposed to do good things. And that's why this channel keeps getting attacked. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. And there is a number at the top of the screen if Chris wants to call in. Because the number at the top of the screen is only available to be called while I'm on live. Once this live ends, that number will not, you cannot reach me on that number again until I do another live. I just want people to know that. If you're going to call in, you got to call in while I am here. So if you want to know any other information, Chris, if you honestly want to know who to contact in order to get this case solved, call the number and I'll be glad to turn off my mic, give you that information so you can get your wife's case solved. If that's truly what you want to do. And Judy, I appreciate the support for Summer's channel. I really do. I'm so grateful. God bless, hon. God bless. Much love. Yeah. Well, if you give the lead investigator the number at the top of my screen, he won't be able to call me until I do a live. And that's usually, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, PM. But I will be glad to give him all the information, let him know where it all came from and who he needs to contact to get everything done. I won't record it. I will not record it, Chris. I will not record it. If I tell you I will not record it, I do not record it. And that's the truth. I will not record. Absolutely not. And I talked with Donald the other night. He said, do not record me. And I didn't. I don't record if I'm asked not to record. I keep it on the level. It's not what I do. Now, there is a lot of creators that will do that dirty little deed. I'm not one of them. And Donald knows. Donald knows when PG says I won't do something, I don't do it. I don't do it. But I think Rose's case deserves to be solved. Absolutely. It deserves to be solved. I tried to get Candace. I don't think Grandis and Candace cares if this case is solved, because I told Candace about the information. I'd like to talk to her mother about it, and she didn't ever have Grandis reach out and talk to me. She did not care to get her sister's case solved. So, and yes, I did talk to Candace. I tried to get Candace to let me talk to Grandis to get this taken care of. So, you know, some people ain't about getting their loved ones' cases solved. Yes, I do tell the truth. Yes, I do. And he can call, like he can call anonymously, right? I mean, he can call. I've heard his voice before. I believe I've heard his voice before. So, you know, yeah, she might not give two shits. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if somebody did something to my sister, you bet your fucking ass we gonna find out who did it. And they better pray the law gets to them before we did, right? They better pray that little prayer. I don't care who they are. I don't care. It wouldn't matter. I don't think that Chris would have to divorce the daughter in order to get protection of his girls. Absolutely, those are his daughters. Grandis has no jurisdiction. When a child has two parents, the parents always come before the grandparents. Always. Unless the only way Grandis would come before Chris is if the children were not Chris's biological children. If Rose would have had any children that were not Chris's biological children, then yes, they would have been removed to the grandmother because he was not the biological dad. But as long as you are the biological dad, no way they're giving them to a grandparent unless that biological dad is a suspect or a harm to the children in some way. So, but yeah. Oh, I don't know either, hon. Yeah, Jay. It's 25 cents. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I just know the laws, right? I just know the laws and what the law states when it comes to family law anyway. Oh, so the lawyer advised it. Yeah, lawyers do that. Lawyers advise all kinds of things. How do you think they make their money? Right? They make their money by tearing other people's lives apart. Absolutely, Mayor. It says, I'm just trying to help. Amen. Absolutely. I don't know, Chris. I don't know. I don't know, Chris. I didn't know Rose. You know, I'm just an innocent bystander, man, in all of this. Right? You know, everything happens on God's time. Everything happens on God's time. Right? God put this out here tonight. He put this out here tonight to let people know if Rose's case, you know, if this family wants her case solved, it can be solved. God is saying, hey, if you people really want this woman's case solved, it can be solved. That's up to you. You got the information to get it done now. Either you'll do it or you won't. It don't matter. It's your choice. But don't say you didn't have the information to get it done, because now you do. What you tell people you've been praying for so long, you have now. So, there you go. I believe Rose's favorite color was blue, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was blue. I believe Candace said that. I'm not sure. I just think, if I'm not mistaken, it's blue. Summers was purple and pink. I believe Rose's was blue. I mean, Chris should be able to confirm or deny that. No, I am not withholding any information. I am withholding who this person is and who their son is. Yes, I am withholding who they are and their son is, because that's not everybody's business. That is Candace's business, Grandis's business. That is Chris Larson's business. That is his daughter's business. It is Jeannie's business. It's their family's business, but it ain't all of our business. You know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And it is the law's business, right? If they've got information that can solve this case, it is law enforcement's business as well. And law enforcement has been notified, and I'm sure they're going to be re-notified about 50 times after tonight. So, with that being said, you know, and I am more than glad to tell the family and law enforcement who this person is and who they need to contact in order to find out where that house was and get justice for this lady, who is Summer's aunt. Right? It should have been solved years ago. Yes, they deserve to get justice for what happened to her. She was taken away from her daughters, who she truly loved, and she would have always been there for. I do not believe she was no grandest. I think that Rose was a real mom. I think she loved her children. If I have, if she does have evidence, if it's her job to turn it into law enforcement, but I call BS. I just played you the evidence. I just played you the evidence. I have emails from this person. I have phone conversations from this person talking about this very topic. You just heard it. You just heard it. I mean, why would anyone want to lie about something as stupid as this? I mean, that's insane. I mean, I don't even think a person could make this shit up, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody can make this kind of stuff up. If I had to say, I'd say her daughters are about 16, 17 years old. If I had to say, I'd say her daughters are about 16, 17 years old. I mean, I don't know. Um, that's a question for Chris. You know, he knows exactly how old his daughters are, but she came up missing in 2009, and I just assumed she done had the two children, which were probably, you know, um, infants at that time. So, with that being said, um, and doing my math, you know, in my own head, I say they're somewhere around 16, 17 years old. I could be wrong. They could be a little older, but that's my calculations on them. So, oh, yeah, she came missing 2009. I believe the kids were, you know, infants back then. They were like what, one and three, or two and three, somewhere around there. They were just little. So yeah. Um, so yes, absolutely. Um, Well, yeah, he probably was going to divorce her. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes men don't divorce. I mean, it seems like they was having some problems. But, sometimes, those problems can be worked out. So, how you doing? How you doing, Julie? Julia says, "Hey family, I'm so late, but I miss you all." Miss you too, girl. Um, yeah, that was Grandis's story, but I don't know. It don't sound like she wandered off. It sounds like she got took out. Um, oh, that is so sweet. PG, God bless. PG, we love you. Hey, girl, I love you guys too. God bless. Hey, Thumbelina, I appreciate that, hon. I appreciate it. Amen. Great work. God bless. Yeah, we're getting some new people in here. We're getting some new people in here. So, you know, if you guys want me to play what was said to me again, put a one in the chat. I'll be glad to replay the video on screen for everyone. But I didn't come out here. I didn't come out here, you know, to get insulted. I didn't come out here to get insulted. I came out here, to help this young lady get found and get justice. Nothing more, nothing less. And, and I know that this can be solved, especially if that house is still existing and the wood floors are still there in that particular room the carpet was taken out of. I'm sure this case can be solved. It can be solved. So, with that being said, it's left up to the family. I can't make anybody do anything, but the family can. The family are the ones that have to raise hell with law enforcement and get the job done. Right? I mean, the family's the one that has to reach out if they need help and they need supporters to call in and ask to get it moving further. Then they need to do that as well. I'm sure if they asked us to, hey, can you call in, can you let them know that we want this, that we got people behind us and we want this to be investigated and something done, we'll be more than glad to jump on board and do that. If they want to give us the numbers to call, we will definitely post them up and help out, right? I mean, we're doing all we can do. We're doing all we can do. That's what I'm saying. But, I don't want to put I'm not going to call out the name of who this person is. I'm not going to call out the name of who their son is because, you know, I don't want no hate on that person's back. I don't want people, no hate on them. I don't want to, you know, get no hate going. I told you guys last night, I don't need all of that anymore. I don't need all of that anymore. That's not who I am. That's who they are, not me. Okay, I'm going to play it one more time here for y'all.
Good afternoon. I wanted to explain why last night we could not name suspects in Rose Bly's case. So let me tell you a story somehow explain to the people in the chat why suspects cannot be named. The night Rose went missing, she was at a house in a town called Frederick, Wisconsin.
She was in a house in a town called Frederick, Wisconsin. That's what the person said.
Supposed to be a party there.
There was supposed to be a big party there.
Rose and my son were friends, and he and other friends were supposed to meet her there.
This person's son and some friends were supposed to go there and meet her.
When they got there, they saw Rose's car there, and they went into the house and...
When they got there, Rose's car was there. Rose's car was there.
Called out a guy, hollered, "We are upstairs." My son went up. The others kids stayed down to
this particular person that went there to join the party that night left his friends downstairs. They all went in the house. He left his friends downstairs and he went upstairs where he met up with two people.
Room, and there were two people. In the room, a guy about my son's age, an older man, and he saw big garbage bags along the side of the wall. They had ripped up the carpet in the bedroom. He had asked what they were doing. The guy said, "None of your business." So he asked where Rose was. The guy said she took off with some guy. Well, he said, "If you know the smell of death, it's something you never forget." And he said the people were acting really sketchy, and it stunk in that room so bad he made up an excuse to get out of there with his friends. He knew something bad happened in that house. And then a few days later, it's all over the news that Rose was missing. This house was a party meth house, and there was a lot of bad people there. My son laid low for a long time before going to the police to make a report. As a matter of fact, he did not want to go at all, because he knew Rose was dead and who she was seeing, and that's the person he was scared of.
Now what she's saying is her son is scared of this particular person that was tearing up the carpet, putting it in big trash bags.
Guy Rose was seeing is a police officer for Pope County, Wis, and the other guy that was in the bedroom is an Indian. He ran off to South Dakota.
So now you're hearing that one of the guys was a police officer, and the other guy was was a friend of the police officers, a big Indian guy that ran off to Dakota after Rose came up missing.
Dakota 2 days later to the reservation.
He ran off 2 days later when it hit the news.
So this is the reason it could not be mentioned on your live last night, with him still working as an officer. The officer she was seeing is married, and I think she was looking for more in
The officer was married, and they feel that he did something to Rose because Rose was looking for something more than what he could give her. So, and he was looking also to go up in ranks, which he did, right? He moved up in the police force.
relationship than he was, and something went very, very wrong. Lisa Keys was on FB as soon as Summer came up missing. At the time, she said she was a private investigator for Chris Larson, which she was.
Now she's saying that Lisa Kay told her she's a private investigator for Chris Lawson.
Not she had mentioned the police report that my son had made.
And she says something about Lisa Kay having a police report that her son supposedly made, but that isn't true, because I was told later that there is no police report, that somehow she tried to say that her son did make one, but it somehow magically disappeared. I don't think one was ever made, if you ask me.
I blocked her because she posted his name on FB, which pissed me off, being that I have tried to protect him and our family for so long. When I saw her on your live last, I had to pretend I did not know her because I wanted to hear what she had to say and whether it was true. One thing she did get very, very wrong is there was absolutely no cameras, which says it in the police report, and I drive by there once a week for 25 years and there still are none up there.
So where they found Rose's car, there was no cameras, is what I'm hearing. No cameras. So, and she says that there still is no cameras anywhere in the vicinity to where that car was found. So I don't know, because I don't live in Wisconsin and I don't cover the Rose Bly case. So I don't research all of that, right? So I'm just telling you that this particular son can take them to that house. And if that house is still standing and the wood floors are still in that room, they could find something they could find DNA that indeed Rose Bly was in that room, and the carpet was removed because of massive amounts of blood. So, with that being said, there we go. Case solved, right? Case solved. And the limitations of murder does not ever run out. You kill someone, you could go to prison 30 years later. You could go to prison 50 years later if you're still breathing, right? You'd be an old ass man put in prison for the crime you committed 30, 40 years back. It does not ever run out. This crime could still be solved. Absolutely. So, with that being said, it needs to be checked into, right? That absolutely needs to be looked into it. And Grandis, look at her. Poor Grandis. Tears in her eyes. Her daughter's case really messed her up. If Grandis wants it solved, she can get it solved now, right? She can get it solved. It is what it is. And, it is what it is. So hopefully, this family jumps on it. They push to get it done. Here's some pictures of Rose. That's her with her baby. There she is. Looks like she graduated, right? She sure was pretty. She was beautiful. And that's her missing poster they put out. She came up missing 2009. And they definitely, I can say they were definitely hanging up missing posters for Rose. Not for Summer, but they sure was doing it for Rose. Yeah, she's beautiful. That's her and her dad, I believe. That's her and her dad. That's Candace's dad. This was Candace's and Jeannie's and Rose's dad. That's the gentleman there. He looked like a good man. That is a beautiful picture of her, right? That's a beautiful picture of her. There you go. Um, no, no. The reason I didn't disguise the voice. This was an email. This was an email, and I had it put into content so it read it to you. This is an email I have. Absolutely, and and law enforcement is more than welcome to it. Chris Lawson is more than welcome to it. You know, Grandis and Candace are more than welcome to it, right? They're welcome to the information to help, to help find Rose. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Um, I think this was a great live. Exactly, Karen. Absolutely. It was really a good live, a great one. Um, you know, that God let us bring to the table, right? He let us bring it to the table. And hey, I thank him for that. I thank him for that. I think everybody, everybody should be found. Everyone deserves to have, every victim deserves to get justice. Absolutely. So, hello. This is PG. Was you trying to get a hold of me? As someone thought they had the wrong number. So, I don't know. Um, anyway, and the private investigator that Candace and Donald have are actually friends. They're friends with the Wells, and I'm sure that if somebody needs to go to the hospital, you're certainly going to take them there. Um, I would take Candace to a hospital if she needed to go to a hospital, right? I mean, if I was with her and she needed to go to a hospital, of course I'm going to take her to a hospital. I mean, man, it'd be cruel. It'd be awful cruel if you didn't. right? If you know somebody needs medical attention, you go get them medical attention. Um, I don't fault her for that, you know. But, as for this information, you know, it's something that was told to me by someone, and you know, and do I believe it's true? Yes, I believe it's truth. I really do. And I do believe that it can solve Rose's case. I wasn't there, so you know, I don't know, but I do believe it can solve Rose's case, right? I think this bit of information could get things done, especially if that house is still there. A lot of houses, stand for 100 years, right? Still have the original floorboards and everything. So, unless the floor was ripped up and replaced, and then you still have the beams. You still have the beams that could have evidence, right? Where it seeped through the cracks and got down onto the beams. And you can't remove beams. You can remove a floor, but you can't remove the beams because that's the, main structure of a home, and it's going to collapse. So, I'm just saying that I think that this case can be solved. If Chris and the family want to get it solved. And as you heard the person, they said they already reported it. They said they already had reported it. They even tried to say that Lisa Kay had a police report where it was reported. So, I don't know. Later I heard that the police report just magically disappeared or something. I don't know. So I don't know, I don't know if it was reported or not. You heard the person say that their son was scared, that he really didn't want to go. He dearly didn't want to report it, but he did. That's nothing on me. That's on them. That's on them. I mean, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Well, it's worth being looked into. It's worth, it's worth being looked into, right? I mean, she's been missing since 2009. So it's definitely worth the lead. It's a lead, follow it, right? At least follow it. What I'm saying is if it doesn't turn up nothing, there's nothing lost, right? There's nothing lost. But if it does, it's all to gain, right? So at least follow the lead. I think a lot of criminals get away with things because people don't want. I don't know how do I put this? I don't know if people just really don't believe what they're hearing, or if they, or if they just don't want someone's case solved. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I really think humans need to check themselves. I think, humans need to check themselves because, we should want everyone found. We should want everyone to have justice, right? We need to start doing righteously. Man, you're going to be standing before God one day. Whether you believe or you don't believe, you're going to be a believer then. You're going to find out it's all real. And you're going to be in a lot of trouble, man. A lot of trouble when you didn't want to do what was righteous in this life for one another. God's going to tell you, He didn't put you here to live for yourself. Did I not say to help bear one another's crosses? And whose cross did you bear but your own? And then want everybody to help you bear yours, and you help no one bear theirs. Do you think there's room in heaven for people like that? I don't. You don't only bear your own, but you help other people bear theirs as well. We got to work together in this world. Stop fighting and working against one another. All that hate and shit is just stupid. You know, it's the way Satan wants to be able to take you over and destroy your life and send you to Hades. And you know, if you have all that hate and everything, then you're allowing it to happen. Don't blame no one but yourself. I'm tired of all the hate. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I told everybody that last night, and I meant it. Completely done with it. I'm done with the lying. I'm done with all the BS accusations against me when I've done nothing but bust my ass to help these victims. And get nothing but pure hate for it all. That's kind of, you know, deterring, if you ask me. It's overwhelming and very deterring. As I said, I'm here for Summer Moon Utah Wells. Yes, we do cover other cases because I think that every child should be in the spotlight and have an opportunity of being found. And I know that's what Summer would want us to do. But Summer was our main topic. Our main goal is to find her, bring her home, and get justice. Now, I will be here whether people like it or they don't until that is done. Until that is done. That's what God put me here for. That's what He put this chat together for, is Summer. It ain't about me. It ain't about all of you. It's about Summer Moon Utah Wells. And we have one thing in common. We all love her. We all care about her, and we all want her found and justice served on her behalf. And I'm not going to allow it to become about anything else. I'm really not. You know, I brought everything, all truth to the table. You know, I haven't brought a bunch of lies and BS. I brought all truth to the table. And I can guarantee you that if I wanted to throw a bunch of bullshit under a bus for Don and Candace Wells, instead of putting a focus on them, I wouldn't be having no issues out here at all. But because I have put the focus on Don and Candace Wells and not on a bunch of bullshit, I'm getting a bunch of backlash by the pack of demons they have wanting to kiss their backsides and do their dirty deeds for them. And these people that are wanting to kiss the Wells backsides and do the Wells dirty deeds, I think you all already know who they are. And I think you all already know that That is why I'm being attacked. That is why innocent people are becoming victims and being victimized right now by that group of people. And why does the Wells not want the focus to be on them? If they are truly innocent and they have done nothing to their daughter, Summer Moon Utah Wells, then why are they having people attack me? If I done nothing, I wouldn't give a damn if focus is on me or it's not. I wouldn't care. Put the focus on me. I need to focus on me so I could get you all to help me find Summer Moon Utah Wells, right? The missing daughter. Okay, there you go. Lisa K's trying to say that I'm back. And they had this info. Allie has had it for years. So, if they've got this info, I don't know why Chris don't know about it. I don't know why Grandis didn't know about it. I don't know why Candace don't know about it, or Jeannie. I don't know why they haven't pushed law enforcement to get to that house and to get, collect any evidence that they could possibly collect out of that home. So if what Lisa K's saying is truth, then this should have already been solved. Why it hasn't, I don't know. Maybe people do want to call that law enforcement and ask them why this hasn't been solved with this much information to be able to get it solved. People ain't cutting up carpets and the room don't smell like death. And her car sitting right outside sounds to me like that's where it all went down. And there has to be evidence there that, yes, it did happen. So law enforcement needs to be questioned. Are they keeping, are they not doing nothing because it is a fellow officer that possibly committed the crime? Maybe you want to call and ask those questions, right? Call and ask them, because last time I checked, even if you're, the law does not, even if you are the law, it does not, you still got to answer to the law, right? You still got to answer to the law. Well, Chris was acting like he don't, and he said he's calling tomorrow to report it. Hello? PG speaking. Hello? I guess tonight's just a night for calls and hanging up on me, right? It is what it is. At least they're calling. Okay. Okay, I got a caller here on Lisa K. The caller wants to ask you something.
Lisa K, we would like to know how you know all this. Could you tell us? Or we will get your typical answer. I know, but I can't tell. Come on, bring your ass up and tell it. And I'm not speaking for PG, I'm speaking for me and the rest of us online. Are you a detective? Are you a cop? How do you know all this? Are you involved? Whoa. Did I say that? I believe I did. And I have another question, PG. How long had Rose been missing when this guy stumbled up on this thing?
How old was she?
No, how long had she been missing?
She came up. They actually put it out on the news 2 days after this particular young man and his friends went there to the party house for a party and seen all of that. 2 days later is when it was exactly 2 days later when she was put out on the news of being missing.
I don't recall. Was the summertime when she became missing?
She came up missing in 2009 on 8/21 of 2009. She came up missing 8/21 2009.
Okay, so what I was wondering was how long she'd been missing and how long the room had to smell like that.
The young man said that when he got there, her car was outside. Him and two other friends went inside the house. The two friends stayed downstairs. He went upstairs and met up with the two guys upstairs, which was the police officer and an Indian man. He said that they was ripping carpet out and putting it in big trash bags. He asked them what they was doing. They said none of your business. He asked where Rose was, and they said she had left with some other guy. And then he went down, and he said it smelled so bad. It smelled so bad in there that he ran down the staircase and got out of there. But he didn't call law enforcement. He didn't do anything. He just ran off like a coward and done nothing.
So it was in August, so that's why the rooms is so much like that up there.
Yes, absolutely. And if that house is still standing, if that is, obviously they tore the carpet up because of, because they didn't want, obviously there had to be blood or they wouldn't have tore the carpet out. But wood underneath carpet sucks that blood up, and therefore you can't ever, no matter how many times you scrub, you can't get it out of there. So there's still evidence there. If the house is still standing with the original floors, there would still be evidence, DNA evidence that yes, she was there and something obviously went down there. So, this case could be solved if they wanted it solved. I don't, I don't know if they even want it solved. It seems like none of these people want it solved, right?
Right. I don't know. They show pictures on Facebook, and I'm not sure now what YouTuber it was, but they showed pictures where blood was running
Outside.
on the outside of the house.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it would be the same way here if that house was still standing.
That's what I'm saying. There would still be evidence in that house of that gruesome act being done in there.
Exactly.
So, absolutely. And why it ain't being investigated, I don't know.
But she was a beautiful girl, and I'm sure whatever she was into her, broken into her, whatever. She didn't deserve to die like this.
But,
And
you know,
her children need to have some peace about it.
I don't think, you know, as she said, Chris and Jeannie have known it. Chris didn't know it because Chris said he's going to actually get a hold of the main person tomorrow, the main detective, and let him know all of this. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about Lisa Kay at all. I don't know about Lisa Kay whatsoever. She always says she knows everything, but I don't think she knew all of this at all. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that, you know.
She had been on your program. And back then, she'd already, I know something, PG, but I can't tell it.
I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew that there was a house on Frederick Street with, you know, that may still exist, that could be gone through and this crime solved, right?
Exactly.
I don't think she knew all of that. I think Lisa Kay wants to know everything, and when indeed she probably don't know shit. But, you know, point being is, God knew, and God put it out here, and, you know, and now people know. So let's get something done about it, right? Let's get something done about it.
When did you get this email about this?
What?
When did you get the email?
Oh Lord, hon, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't check my emails that often. As everyone knows, I'm on Facebook now, and I do keep up with everything and everyone on Facebook. I couldn't tell you, but law enforcement is more than welcome to the email.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Well, Lisa, I would like to challenge you to come up and talk to us and tell us what you know or what you know or what you don't know. Or,
Oh, Lisa Kay.
Lisa
Lisa Kay says, I have pictures of the house. Everyone knows where it is. And yes, it's still standing and still owned by the family. Well, there you go. Then that house needs to be looked into, right? That house needs to be looked into.
Who owns the house? What's the person saying? Is she going to turn that into the law?
Are you going to go back and talk with the law about all of this, Lisa Kay, or no? Every time I see Lisa Kay, she comes up, she's laying in a bed. I'm not even sure she can get out of it. I mean, it's the truth, right?
Maybe that's where she does her best work, on her back.
Someone else is trying to call in, caller.
Okay, I'd just like to challenge Lisa.
All right.
Come on out.
All right, sweetheart. I love you.
Love you too, PG.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello?
Hello? PG?
Yes, it's PG, sweetie.
Okay. Well, I don't know where to start. I'm echoing. Should I turn something down?
No, hon, you're fine.
Okay, so how can I help? Is there a number I can call?
Chris ain't gave us a number. Lisa Kay hasn't give us a number. Chris hasn't gave us a number. Hold on. I'm going to check this for you. Just give me a second. I'm going to tell you here in a second if who you can call. It is 715.
Hold on a second.
I'm going to double check it.
Now, who am I calling? Who is this?
This is Wisconsin. It's, hold on a second. Polk County Sheriff's Office, Wisconsin. Polk County Sheriff's Office in Wisconsin.
Okay, so do you
I'm
think that I
trying to make
should
sure.
just repeat the story that you
Okay.
just played?
It is 715-485-8362.
8362. Okay,
Yes.
got that. Okay. So is that what I should do? Should I say, look, I've heard this live, got this info.
And why ain't they checking it out? Because obviously there's a lady named Lisa Kay saying they already have all of this info and pictures of this house and everything else. And why is it not being looked into it? Is it because it's a fellow officer that, you know, reputation at stake here, or what? Because clearly there was a witness that, you know, this was going on in that house, you know, 2 days before the news came out that that she was missing and her car was there. And when they asked where she was, they supposedly said, you know, she had took off with someone else, and they're ripping carpet up and everything. So something was going on in there. 3 people that were there made statements. So, you know,
now, am I able to say that someone has emailed you?
Hon, you could say whatever you want to say. Say whatever you want to say. You know, none of us got nothing to hide. You know, we all need to pitch in together, right? And we all need to help these victims. We are their voice. We are their voices.
Have you made a call? Have you called in?
I plead the fifth, right?
Okay.
I'm going to plead the fifth. When I call law enforcement, I don't like to put it out here and talk about it. I do report everything that I feel is 100% necessary to be reporting. Absolutely, I do.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm really confused on what happened tonight. It was like a big show, and I just feel like I'm missing something.
Well, what you're missing, I think what's confusing a lot of people is you got Lisa Kay saying that everyone knows about this stuff, and then you have Chris saying, "Oh hell no, I didn't know any of this, and I'm going to get in contact first thing tomorrow to, you know, to get this taken care of." So I don't know exactly. You know, it sounds like Lisa Kay and Chris ain't on the same page, right? Or maybe Lisa Kay has told Chris these things and he just didn't believe her, right? I mean, sometimes people can tell you things and then someone else say it and now you believe it. You know, it happens all the time.
Well, have you thought about reaching out to Chris personally?
No, actually not, because you know what? I don't cover Rose's case. I cover Summer Moon Utah Wells, and you know, she's my main topic, our main goal, and we don't, you know, I felt that the Utah case and the Rose Bly case really put Summer into the dark for a long time, and I'm not going to let that happen again. I mean, I brought this out here to let everybody know that I indeed believe this case can be solved if people wanted it solved. And other than that, you know, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I mean, now at this point, it's in law enforcement's hands and what they do with it, and the family. You know, I think that Chris learned a lot tonight that he did not know. And I think that, you know, he is going to take the steps necessary to get this in the right people's hands, if that was truly him in the chat. And, in the same way with Grandis and Candace, I know that Donald Wells and Candace and Grandis and them watch our lives. And this is Grandis's daughter. So I'm sure if nobody else gets on law enforcement with this, I'm sure Grandis will. Because, we all seen Grandis right here. I mean, look at her. Look at how heartbroken this lady is over her daughter. And I'm sure she's going to, she's going to take this and she's going to do something with it. So, and I don't know why Lisa Kay didn't feel compelled to let Grandis in on this. She's all for this Chris guy, but she's not for this poor woman right here with the tears in her eyes for her daughter. Right?
What's the connection between Lisa and Chris?
Oh, I think it's I think it's one of those, I think it's one of those I got eyes for you, but I don't have them for you situations, to be honest with you. I mean, it's some kind of weird or fascination that she's got with this Chris guy. It's really weird, but I don't know.
This whole thing's weird. Connected to Summer's case?
No, absolutely not. I think it's too total. I think Rose's case is an isolated case with a officer she was dating, and obviously, she could have become pregnant by wanting more, or else, maybe she wasn't pregnant at all, and she just, gave him. They had a fight, and it just didn't go well. I don't know what happened, but it sounds like she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, right?
Was that cop married?
Yes.
At the time?
Absolutely. So,
He's still married to her?
I heard that he actually divorced that particular woman and remarried. I'm not for sure, but that's what I heard. I'm not sure how it went. I don't cover this case. I did do some research on the case early on because some people were interested in talking about it, but it got to be a problem. Matter of fact, that's where everything went south with me and Lisa Kay, right? Because every time she came on panel, she wanted to turn everything to the Rose Bly case and take the focus off of Summer, to the point I got fed up with it. And, and the same thing has happened with the Utah case as well, taking the focus off of Summer when Summer needed to focus on her most. And right. I think that's why, we haven't found Summer as well, because we needed to keep the focus on, when a child comes up missing, it is very important to keep the focus on that child for the first few months. If you want to figure out what happened to it. And that just wasn't happening with Summer's case. There was too many people not wanting to focus on Summer. They wanted it on everything and anything but Summer to get the focus off themselves, right?
I'm not sure. I can't agree. I don't know.
Did you follow the Summer Wells case?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just can't understand everybody's motives.
Everybody's motive.
Yeah, with all the people in the case, I can't understand, like Jody Sue. I understand why she was on at first, but it's went on and on and on, and it won't stop.
Because she's making bank. She's making bank off of it. I mean, you know, she's started to look at this as a livelihood, you know, for people to keep up. I mean, she's got, you know, all these things: Cash App, Venmo, right, PayPal, wish list. um it's all self gain. And you know, she doesn't care if she's messing up this little girl's case or not, right? She doesn't care if she's
Did
messing
you
up.
get your new computer yet?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I sure did.
How's it working for you?
Well, this is the first night it's been hooked up on, so I'm hoping it works great. So far, we have had no problems tonight of me getting booted away, right?
Right. So, okay, so since I don't know your name, I can only give your channel. Would it be, should I give this number that I called tonight to them?
It won't.
The Wisconsin Sheriff's Department?
You can, but they won't be. But if you do, like I told Chris Larson, we got Ronnie Larson, we got Chris Larson. It's kind of confusing, right? But anyhow, as I told Chris, Larson, if you know,
Right.
if he gives this phone number, he's going to have to let them know that they cannot get a hold of me unless I am on a live, and that's usually, you know, on usually 10 o'clock at night, right? If they want to catch me and call this number, it'll have to be 10 o'clock at night, because this phone only comes on.
I'm assuming you've already called me and said something, because you just called someone a coward, so I can't see you calling out someone a coward, but you're not calling, right?
Let me tell you something, honey. If it had been me that went up that staircase and smelled what he smelled and seen what they was doing with her car out there, law enforcement would have all been there that night.
Definitely.
They'd have been there that night, because you know what? When you're somebody's friend, you're supposed to be a true friend. You're supposed to have their back. You're supposed to be looking out for them. You're supposed to, you know, when you call somebody a friend, you are calling them a brother or a sister now. They have become part of your family. And you're supposed to stand up for them just like you would for anyone in your own family. The person that even has blood in them. You know, this person becomes your blood. Right? That's what real friendship is. It's a bond, man, that people can't break. And you're supposed to stand strong for someone and have their back at all times. And this person...
Is there a time frame that this happened?
2 days, 2 days before the news. It was the news. It was on the news 2 days after he seen all of this. Just 2 days after. So
I wonder if this Indian guy had made a call.
So from what I'm understanding, she came up missing August the 21st of 2009. So I don't know exactly when she was reported missing, if she had been gone a day or two or not. I mean, if she was reported missing, you know, the very next day. This is something the family would know. Like I said, I don't cover Rose's case.
Yeah.
You know,
Here's the downfall.
I just
what
think
happened
that
tonight, and I got to thinking, what if the person who did do this, they hear of this live, they go burn down the house?
Well, that just shows their
and
guilt,
it destroys
right?
everything.
They, you know, that just shows hell. If they did that, I guess they're going to prison, right? I don't think they're that stupid, to be honest with you. I don't think they're that stupid.
Well, I like to see them both found, that's for sure.
I don't think anybody's that stupid. That is just something I would not do, because now they are leaving DNA behind, right? You know,
it's been done.
You know, I sure the hell wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Well, you would if you knew there was blood evidence in the house that you killed somebody in.
No, I'm still not doing it because I got enough brains to know. I got enough brains to know that they can take a dog now and the scent of me, and that dog can go on that property and tell the police if I was there or not. You're gonna get busted in so many freaking ways anymore that, you know, even if you didn't drop a hair, which you're probably going to because your hair falls out everywhere, but you know, and cameras are going to catch you going to that place at different points. Your phone's going to ping. I mean, there is so many ways of getting busted now. You got to be a damn fool to even commit a crime.
That's true, but you know, if the cop did it, he probably had someone get rid of her body in the first place.
Well, he had a help.
He probably hired someone to burn down the house.
He had an Indian guy that hauled it away from there, right?
That's what you're saying.
And that ain't what I'm saying. That's what the person that emailed me said. That's not my words.
Was that a unanimous email?
No, it's not an anonymous email. I know who email it is.
Okay. So it's a good source.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Do you have another question you needed to ask?
I don't. I think that's it.
All right.
I appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate you calling, hon. Have a good one.
All right.
If that's what you're saying. No, that ain't my words. Don't try to put words in my mouth that I didn't say, right? Absolutely not. That's the devil's old trick. That's the devil's old trick. You got to watch for those people that, you know, ain't hearing what you're saying. They're trying to hear what they want you to say. No, that ain't what I was, I was saying. That's what she wanted to hear me saying. And that's a big fucking difference right there, right? And, as Lisa said, 3 people has made statements on it. She's already pulled the records. I mean, this is insane. This is insane. Why? Obviously this family has not been keeping up with law enforcement. They have not been, Grandis looks so sad and crying and everything. You feel sorry for her, but what is she doing? What is she doing to get law enforcement to, indeed go into that house and find out if something really did happen in that particular room, right? To her daughter. I mean, law enforcement be more than happy to get their, matter of fact, they'd be getting their asses in their ASAP, because I'd be on every news station in front of that house talking about it. How I understand that my daughter possibly was killed in a room in that house, and law enforcement ain't doing a damn thing to get in there and see if that indeed happened, right? So there you go. If you want to get something done, you will. If you don't, you won't, right? It is what it is. So, they act like they didn't have this information. Now you do. Use it. Yeah. And Lisa, as you've seen, I popped up. I got pictures of this house. Well, Grandis, you need to go stand in front of the house looking just like you do in this picture right here, demanding that they figure out if anything happened to your daughter in that particular house or not, right? I don't give a damn who owns it. Get it done, girl. Call the news stations. Get it done, right? It just is what it is. That's, like I said, man, you can only equip people with the knowledge and the information to do what needs to be done. And it's from there, it's up to them to get it done. You know, from there, it's up to them to get it done. And if Lisa K gives a damn so much about what happened to Rose for Chrissy boy, then she needs to go stand that ass out in front of that fucking house and call the news stations as well, right? Get off that ass. Go do it. Get it done. Get it done. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. So, you know, they know where the house is. Get it done. That's, you know, that's what I say. Obviously, Lisa K had a whole lot of information she wasn't sharing with the family. And I got to wonder about that. I got to wonder about that shit, right? But anyway, you know, it is what it is. That's what I came out here to let everybody hear and know about tonight is Rose Blythe's case and how if people want it solved, it can get solved. So, you know, it's in their ball court now. Good luck with that. I covered Summer's case. Not everybody else's. I cover Summers. That is, you know, that's our main topic. That's our goal is to find Summer, bring her home, get justice for against whoever did this heinous thing to her. And you know, I do think Rose should, you know, has a right to be found. I think that she has a right to justice, just like everybody else in this world does. She was a beautiful young lady that should not have been, you know, should not have been done like this by anyone. She had children, you know, that she needed to be there for, that had to grow up without her. And it is, you know, it is what it is. Who's laughing? She is laughing. Who's laughing? There ain't nobody around here laughing. Do y'all hear her laughing? Are you talking about me? Are you talking about I'm laughing? I don't think so. Absolutely. I did what I needed to do. I did laugh earlier when the caller called up and asked Lisa K to come on panel and said that all she was going to say is, I know, but I can't tell. I thought that shit was funny because that's what she always says. So, you know, if that's what you're talking about, how, yeah, I laughed. That shit was fucking funny. Not built to break. Hey, sweetie, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, hon. Caller, you are gaslighting PG. Good night. Good night, sweetie. Ain't these people too old to play these games on the phone? I think some people don't ever grow up. It's like a Peter Pan world today, right? Like nobody's growing up anymore. Everybody is like they just get, you know, they got a bunch of birthdays, but somewhere they stop blowing out the candles, right? Like at the age of 5, right? they stopped blowing out the candles. I don't know. I mean, I don't, I don't think there's anything wrong with staying young. I don't really, to be honest with you. I mean, it's people, just actually, you know, age is nothing but numbers, right? It doesn't supposed to alter or change who you are, right? I mean, you can still have fun. Um, I don't know, I don't know why people set standards on humans, right? Like when you're a kid, you're supposed to be a kid, and a teenager, you're supposed to be a teenager. And when you're, young adult, you're supposed to be young adult. Middle age, you're supposed to be middle age. I mean, really? Um, why? Because society says so? I mean, why can't someone middle age have fun skipping a rope? Hello? Do you mind being on live, caller? Hello? Yes. Uh, hold on a minute. I can't hear you. Okay, I'm sorry. I was talking to a beautiful lady on the phone that I thank God that, I thank God for this phone call that I just got. Amen. Um, anyway, anyhow, I am, I am going to get off of here. I did want to let everybody know that I heard that Cam put in a beautiful state-of-the-art alarm system for the wells. I don't know if anybody knew that he was up there putting in this great alarm system, and I got a picture of it. I'm going to show everybody that he has been up there working hard to get done. Must be the new job he got. Right? So yeah, he put in the new alarm. It's called Cheeto Lock. Right. Cam put in the Cheeto Lock for the wells. There you go. Everybody gets to see it. I just wanted to share that. I ain't for sure, how much they paid him to install this, but good job. Great job there, Cam. They got the new Cheeto Lock. They're safe now. Right? No worries. Donald don't have to worry about his safe getting busted into no more, right? Even law enforcement is guaranteed not to get through that lock. Right? There you go. I thought that, we might need to lighten things up a little bit tonight. So, yeah, that was funny, right? He's up there putting in the new Cheeto Lock for the whales. He thinks he did a good job, too. Right? Yeah. Someone comes along and eats it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is some funny stuff, right? Oh, shit. That is hilarious. All right, you guys. I'm going to play Summer Song out of here. I want to say God bless. Good night to everybody. Much love. Keep those prayers going up for little Summer, as I ask every night. Please, please, please keep the prayers going up for this baby. I know God has definitely got to focus on the right places right now. Summer's out here in the spotlight. Prayers are getting answered. I am sure that God's going to pull this to the light as well, right? He's going to pull it to the light as well. And we're going to know what happened to this baby. We're going to be able to, find her, bring her home, and get justice for her. Keep those prayers going up. Keep them prayers going up for this little girl. And keep them going up for one another. My sweet Norway, there's so many people needing prayers right now. I see so many people, needing prayers. So, like I always say, tell God, we don't know what they want or what they need, but He does. And we just pray in the name of Jesus that whatever people are needing, that God's with them and He answers those prayers, right? That He answers those prayers, because that's all we're all praying for. We just want everything to be okay in this world. And it's up to us to help one another to make sure everything is okay. So let's keep working together for the good, for the righteousness. And that's how you overcome evil. So let's keep moving forward with God and His Son, Jesus Christ, on the righteous path. I think we're doing a great job. And I know God's with us. So keep those prayers going up. God bless. Much love. Good night, everybody.